Hi, everyone. Welcome back to my podcast. This week's topic is part two of Don't Get Drugged into the Drama.
Welcome to the Light, Hope, and Healing podcast, where we discuss why you have stress, anxiety, pain, illness, and how to heal from it. I am your host, Tracy Gohrick. My background is a healing coach, energy healer, spiritual mentor, intuitive, and channel.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to my podcast. This week's topic is part two of Don't Get Drugged into the Drama. Last week's video and podcast, I talked about how I was drawn into the drama and the frustration of Amazon Prime charging me for Cinemax and something else that I didn't even sign up for, right? So what came after that was my husband. And so I wanted to do two parts to show you his experience and what happened. And it was like the next day after all of my stuff happened. Anyways, so he was having a really frustrating day because the sprinklers, so on our house, and then we have a rental, both places, the sprinklers were having troubles. Our pool cover wouldn't open, and we had them come out twice already. And then they had already charged us twice when it should have only been charged once because they hadn't fixed it right the first time. Anyway, so complicated. But all of this stuff. And he was just in a bad mood, right? He was in a bad mood and frustrated for the whole day. And I was just joking with him about it, and he'd laugh it off, but you could tell he was just really frustrated. And so he went about the day, and like each one of those things just, I gave you all the examples of what happened, but they just kept building, right? And first it was one sprinklers, then it was the other one working, then he couldn't get it fixed. They had been to the store several times, it just kept building and building and building. And he just kept being drawn more and more and more into it. And I told him, don't be drawn into the drama. He's like, I know, but he was really having trouble, like we all do. We have trouble pulling ourselves out when everything feels like it's going wrong. But the more you focus on it, the more wrong's going to happen, right? And I know it's hard to when you're having that situation where things just keep going wrong and nothing's working. It's hard to pull yourself back and change your mindset on it because it's frustrating when nothing seems to be working for you and you can't fix anything. It almost become like helpless and hopeless, right? It's what it kind of feels like. So, he got through the day. He finally, no, I don't even know if he still has fixed one of the sprinklers, but he finally was able, oh, the well too. He was working on our well, our irrigation well, and that finally worked out. So him and my son, quit for the day and um, went to Monday. And so Monday comes along and he decides to go in and check the credit card again for the charges. Well, he goes in there and he sees all the charges that we had plus the new one. So there was now three charges of subscriptions that were in there. And oh, he writes them all down and he brings it to me, but he has to go to work, so he can't do anything about it. So I was like, okay, well, I'll try to call on that. And I'm like, I've got to get myself in a good place. And it's funny, at least I feel like I did better because normally I would have just gotten on the phone right away and called and then just had a miserable day the rest of the day because I would have been in anger. Instead, I sat back and I was like, I've got to get in a better place before I do this. And also, I have my whole morning routine that I go through that helps me have a better day. If I do this, it's going to throw me off of my morning routine and probably hurt my morning routine, and it's going to hurt my whole day, right? So I decided to sit back. I didn't need to take care of it right away, even though I've always done that. Got to get it done because I hate having those things hanging over my head. So I sat back and I just put it down and I was like, I will take care of this later, right? Luckily, I did that because sitting back on it, I will get to that in a minute, but why it was a good thing that I waited. So I was thinking as my day was going on, I was going through my different things. I was like, I need to check. I need to go in there and check. What exactly did he see? Because if he was in a bad place, he might have read it wrong, saw what was there already, because I was like, well, they don't take them off the credit card statement, but they would credit the account, right? So I decided to wait and just, and then I felt really calm the whole day, not even taking care of it, but sitting back, which is what I highly recommend. Rather than reacting right away to something that's frustrating, is sit back for a minute and take a look at it. So what I did do is I went into my Amazon account and checked it, and I was like, there's not charges there. They're not showing that we're having those subscriptions anymore. So I waited till I got home and I said, look, let's go into look at the credit card together and see. So we go in there and I was like, are you sure that that's what happened? So as we looked closely at it, what had happened was those were credits. They had credited us those back. And so it was funny because it was the realization that when you are upset and angry, you've had all these things happen to you, you're looking for the worst possible scenario. And when you're looking for the worst possible scenario, that's what you're going to see. If it's true or not, that's what you're going to see. And so we were actually given the credits, the money back for those things that they had charged us, right? So it was just another example to show us that don't pull yourself into the drama, don't pull yourself into the negativity. Take care of it, go it in with the best possible energy and attitude, and you're going to have a better outcome, and you won't be drawing a bunch more to you, right? We're all going to be given things. All things happen that are frustrating. They just do. It's life, it's people. But how you handle it is how your day, your life is going to go. And the more you can pull yourself into a better place and not get worked up and upset and drawn into it, the better you're going to be, the better outcome you're going to be, the better things will be overcome, right? We are in the we are in control of our life, even though it doesn't feel like it. And we have the control in how we react. And we don't have to react negatively to situations. Okay? So just pay attention to how you feel. Pay attention to signs. Remember the sign I got? Don't be drawn into the drama. Pay attention to that, to what you're shown, because it's showing you like, okay, this something might happen. Don't be drawn into it. It's just a reminder that we need because, we're going about our day, kind of on autopilot. And when a bunch of things keep happening, our autopilot's getting angry and then more angry. And then it's going to cause more things to go wrong. Because have you ever noticed when you're angry and say you're worked up and upset, you'll end up dropping a glass or a plate or just fumbling stuff or dropping pens all over the floor or a box of crayons or a bunch of paper clips. Things like that happen because you're flustered and angry. So more things happen that make it worse for you. So look at what you can do in your life to have better reactions. And we're not going to be perfect. So don't beat yourself up when you do it. But listen to your inner mind, because the more you work on yourself, the more your mind's going to be telling you, which is what my mind told me, which I finally got it the next day after all the workup I had, because my mind was telling me then, but I just kept going. No, it's okay. Pull yourself back. This is not doing you any good by getting angry. Nothing's going to change by you getting angry, and which was true. But it changed because I didn't make the call the next day when my husband thought we got the charges still. And I sat back and thought about it and then researched it. And the outcome was much better. And I was able to do that, which I would not have been in even the day before. I would have been all over calling right away and gotten worked up. So just work on yourself, work on your reactions, work on how you see things and how you react to them. And it's going to help you. It will help you in your life, in your health, because us getting worked up and angry affects our health, right? It affects our health. That's where a lot of our pain and illness comes and anxiety comes from, is getting worked up and angry at things. So the more we control not getting worked up and angry, the better off we'll be. Okay? I want to share with you the sponsor of this video. It is the X39 Lifewave patches. These are amazing, and I want you to know I don't share anything or recommend anything unless I use it for myself, and I totally love it. Okay? I don't do any of that. These I love. My mother, my husband, and I have all been on them since August. And immediately what I noticed was much more energy in myself. I had much more energy to get things done and just felt a lot of energy during the day. And I didn't get tired in the afternoon like I would sometimes. And I also noticed in myself that I had a mole up here and it just disappeared, right? And I had a few more like later that happened too. And then I noticed that I had a cut on my hand and it healed really quickly. Okay. And then so with my mother, she is almost 80 and she would get tired in the late afternoon and take naps usually around 2, 3, or 4, right? And once she got on these patches, she no longer needed the nap. Wasn't taking naps anymore. She was had more energy herself and was more well rested. And then finally with my husband, and these are just a few of the results, okay? Finally with my husband, he had a lot more energy. He's been retired and he kind of got in a slump and he had a lot of energy once he got on these patches. A couple of days after getting on the patches, he pulled his shoulder out of his socket, which he's done before. He popped it back in anyway, and it bruised horribly. He couldn't lift his arm up. He hurt it pretty bad. It's something he does a lot. And the next day, he was able to lift it halfway up. And then the day after that, he was able to lift it all the way up again, which that's never happened when he's dislocated his shoulder. And there was tons of bruising all the way down his shoulder, and that cleared up, and it was much lighter like the second day, and it cleared up much quicker, and he just healed so much faster after being on these patches. So here's what they look like. And you just take it off and you put it on. Well, this is one place you put it, is the back of the neck, and I hope this is going to show up in the video right there. Back of the neck is where I put mine. And you can put it on your stomach. And there's many other places you can put it, but there is information in the description below on these patches. They are amazing. And I want to just give you what it says on the website about it, just so you have an idea of how it works and why it works. The technology of the X39 patches is phototherapy. It gently stimulates the skin with light, which stimulates the natural flow of energy in the body, which improves the health in the body. So like I said, we've had amazing results. I love them. My mom loves them. My husband loves them. I have quite a few other people on them, and they've all had amazing results. It's helped improve their health and helps them recover quicker. So if you have any questions or are interested in them, go ahead and reach out to me. All the information to contact me is below. There is also a Start X39 website. You can go check it out. Or if you just want to order it, there's a link to order it in the description below. But check them out. I have been so happy on these patches. So in the description below, I have a free healing meditation for you to sign up for. Also in the links below is ways to contact me. If you want to work with me, or you feel like these videos aren't enough and you want more, the link is in the description below to contact me. And if there's any topics you would like me to discuss, just reach out in the links below. And like, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. All right, so go do something you love every day. Go do something you love. Sing, dance, run around the yard. Whatever it is for you that lifts you up, do at least one every day. And then do at least one thing of self-care. Drink tea, Epsom salt bath, pray, meditate. Do at least one of those every day. And then look for the good in everything. Look for the good in everything and in everyone. And when something stands out to you, say it to them. And then finally write 10 things you're grateful for. Do these things, and I promise you, you're going to see a difference in your life. That's what I've got for today. I love you all, and I'll see you soon. Bye.